Discover the incredible transformation of a mermaid, revealed secrets of the emperor's harem. The storm raged outside, thunder clapping like shouting giants of the sea, while inside the cozy diner, Lily mopped the floor with determination. The smell of fresh coffee and frying bacon mingled with the salty sea air creeping through the cracks of weather-beaten windows. To the small town of Eastport, this diner was a warm heart, but to Lily, it felt like a cage. After her father's death and her mother's unending health battles, Lily had taken on more than just waiting tables. She was the family's lifeline, holding tight to dreams of something greater. As another loud crash of thunder echoed. Her gaze fell on something glimmering amidst the stormy waves. Curiosity surged, and as she leaned closer, she found a shimmering mirror washed ashore. It sparkled with unearthly magic, drawing her in, whispering secrets of a world beyond her diner. When she peered into the glimmering glass, vivid images danced before her. An underwater kingdom unfolded, a sprawling realm ruled by an emperor whose charm was magnetic. But behind the beauty lay unsettling truths. The women in his harem, once free spirits, now lived under chains of power and expectation, trapped and silenced. Tears welled in Lily's eyes as she recognized their struggle, a reflection of her own life, expectations squeezing tight around her like a vice. The storm outside was nothing compared to the tempest brewing in her heart. Just as she felt herself drowning in despair, a thundering knock broke the silence. It was Mara, the town historian, eyes bright with a fire that mirrored Lily's own. "We need to talk, Lily. There's work to do." With Mara's guidance, they began uncovering the connections between mermaid tales and the struggles within their town, igniting conversations about economic hardship and social justice. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. But deep-rooted prejudices echoed through the town hall as Lily stood before the townsfolk, her voice trembling but steady. Each doubt reflected in the crowd murmur shook her faith. Would they really join her cause? A heavy silence filled the room. Just when it seemed hope had slipped away, a small voice broke through, sharing a story of struggle, of a single mother making hard choices for her kids. Slowly, more voices joined, stories of dreams crushed, hearts aching, but with resilience shining through. Together they began to weave a tapestry of shared pain, as tears flowed and laughter echoed, bonds forming like a lifeline thrown to an anxious sailor. But just as hope ignited brightly, a shocking revelation slipped into the room, a truth that could rip their newly forged connections apart, seeds of doubt sown deep, threatening everything they had just begun to build. Would the bonds of community hold fast against the weight of history, or would they shatter under the pressure? Lily's heart raced. Could she navigate the storm ahead and find the freedom they all sought? The storm outside raged louder, and it was clear the real battle was just beginning. Lily stood at the front of the town hall, her heart pounding. The faces around her were a mix of hope and skepticism. She scanned the crowd, searching for connection in the eyes of her neighbors, friends, and even those who had once cheered for her family. Would they stand with her now? The weight of their unvoiced doubts wrapped tightly around her like a shadow. "Lily," Mara called, pulling her back from the edge of uncertainty. "You have to remind them why we're here." Taking a deep breath, Lily stepped forward, her voice steady despite the storm raging outside. "We all know the tales of mermaids, the magic, the beauty. But behind those stories there's pain. Just like the real struggles we face every day." Her words hung in the air, charged with emotion. "The women in that kingdom," she paused, her gaze firm. "They're trapped. Just like we feel sometimes, under the weight of expectations and hardships." More murmurs bubbled through the crowd, the tension shifting ever so slightly. Encouraged, Lily pressed on. "If we can stand together, we can change our story. We can break free." But then, a voice from the back spoke up. What do we do when our own problems seem bigger than the issues of mermaids or emperors? The speaker was a familiar face, yet one that had always blended into the shadows. They showed hurt, frustration, and a struggle Lily recognized all too well. It was a challenge, not just from a neighbor, but a reflection of her inner battle. Lily paused. The storm still raged outside, making the windows rattle, yet at that moment, silence fell in the room. She felt every heartbeat, the weight of the question hanging pregnant between them. You're right, she said carefully, choosing each word with purpose. Our problems are massive. But what if our strength lies in facing them together? We can learn from each other, lift each other up. A sudden spark ignited in Mara's eyes. Imagine if everyone here shared and listened. We'd take small steps together, each story weaving into something incredible. If we want real change, we need to start within ourselves. And then a ripple of energy surged through the crowd. One by one, people began standing, sharing their stories. The elderly woman who had lost her husband, the young man burdened with student debt, the single parent battling to keep a roof over their head. Every voice added layers to the tapestry Lily had envisioned. But just when the atmosphere brightened with solidarity, another figure emerged. Tom, the town's mayor, stood up, a keen expression on his face. This is all well and good, but change comes with sacrifices. We can't just dream without considering the reality. We need resources, plans. Lily's heart sank, the harsh reality crashing down like a wave on the shore. She had hoped for unity, not division. Did they even have what it took to overcome? Then let us brainstorm. She called out, trying to stir the energy back to where it had blossomed. If we're going to do this, we'll need ideas, courage, and strategies. We have to fight for our dreams. The energy in the room stirred again, but would it be enough? As discussions ignited once more, Lily felt the tension shift. Hope flickered faintly against the darkness, but could she take on the suffocating pressure of expectation and lead her community toward change? The storm outside echoed the turmoil inside, and as she looked around, she knew the real transformation needed was not just hers, but theirs too. Could they confront their fears and broken dreams together? A loud boom of thunder crashed, shaking the room, and Lily could feel it. This was just the beginning. As discussions began buzzing around the room, Lily's heart raced. People shouted ideas and suggestions flowed like water from a fountain. It felt electric, the way their voices intertwined, turning frustration into determination. But beneath the excitement surged an undercurrent of uncertainty, lurking in the shadows of optimism. Let us not just react. We're not helpless, Lily shouted, pressing her palms together as if forming an invisible bond. If we want change, we must first believe in ourselves and each other. Her voice cut through the clamor, pulling their focus back to her once more. She pointed to Mara, who was giving an enthusiastic thumbs up, encouraging Lily's push. Let us break it down. We know what we want. Now we need to identify how we can work together to make it happen. Lily felt the weight of her own words. Her heart swelled, but a chill threatened to overshadow her spirit. Doubts gripped her tightly. What if their aspirations crumbled under the weight of reality? A middle-aged woman stepped forward, shaking hands with anxiety. What if we hold a town festival? Everyone could share their talents and stories. The suggestion landed with a mix of apprehension and intrigue. It would showcase our hopes, Mara added, her eyes glimmering with possibility. And draw attention to the mermaids. Our connection to their struggles might inspire others. Lily stood taller. Their path wasn't solely about the mermaids, it was about them. The mingling currents of personal stories would amplify voices too often muted. Yes, a festival where every shared experience builds our own identity. But a quiet voice soon disrupted the enthusiasm. It was Tom again, gaze piercing, almost challenging. And how do you plan to fund this festival? Ideas are great, but we need actionable plans. As the crowd held its breath, Lily felt a heat rise within her. They weren't just talking about a momentary escape, they wanted to create a shift, a real change. Let us brainstorm how to raise funds, she insisted. Car washes, bake sales, local sponsorships. We can sell crafts and stories of our progress. It's all on us. The crowd's energy surged once more, buzzing like bees in spring. Faces brightened, hearts lifted. One by one, they started voicing names of local businesses that might help, offering their own skills to contribute. Suddenly, a little boy piped up. "My dad says we can do a contest. Whoever sings the best can be the star of the festival and get prizes." Laughter broke through the tension. Ideas began to flow more freely, and together they started planning the festival as outlined. Lily watched, her spirit igniting as she knew this was something tangible, a chance not just to connect with their community, but also with the mermaids they dreamed of helping. However, the accumulating excitement was charged with uncertainty. Would the resources be enough? Would the festival actually resonate beyond? And could they gain the momentum needed to bridge their small world with the mermaid's plight? Just as clarity unveiled a glimmer of hope, Lily's phone buzzed sharply in her pocket. She pulled it out. The message present on her screen sent a shiver down her spine, a plea from the distant kingdom of mermaids, a warning not to ignore the risks they were about to face. "Lily," it read, "things are more complicated than you think. Your actions may awaken forces you cannot control." The room began to swirl with the sound of laughter and plans being drawn up, but uncertainty crept in. What should she do now? How could they take a leap of faith without falling? As the energy in the town hall buzzed around her, Lily knew this festival was only the beginning of a daunting journey. Would they unite to confront not just their fears, but also unknown dangers lurking just beneath the surface? A heartbeat later, the thunder rumbled louder than before, shaking the windows and reverberating through the room, the echo of challenges still ahead. Lily stood frozen, staring at her phone, the words swimming in her mind like a stormy sea. Forces you cannot control. The room faded slightly around her as the laughter and exuberance became a distant hum. She felt a knot form in her stomach, a weight heavier than any doubt she'd faced before. But she couldn't let fear stop them. Whatever this warning meant, it didn't change their resolve. "Okay, listen up, everyone," she called, grounding herself in the chaos. "We need energy, we need excitement, and we need to stay focused. Our voices matter, and we can't let threats stand in our way." The crowd shifted, adjusting to her tone. Mara caught her eye, firm and steady, as if anchoring Lily in the knowledge that they were in this together. "What us next then?" she asked, igniting a spark in the room once more. Triumph surged within Lily. "Let us start by drafting a list of what we need. We have ideas, we have passion, and above all, we have each other." They quickly gathered around tables, making plans as the pulse of the room quickened. Vision boards sprouted with pictures from newspapers, drawn sketches of what the festival might look like, and colorful index cards filled with names of potential sponsors. Ideas floated around like confetti, tangible and alive. Then a thought bubbled to the surface. What if we included a section in the festival for local artists and performers to showcase talents? Mara suggested, her eyes gleaming. This way, we build the community up while also celebrating our connection to the mermaids. Exactly, Lily cried, her heart racing. Art is a powerful way to make experiences felt. Each piece can echo our stories. We can even invite a mermaid guest speaker. The buzz intensified. Someone shouted, "I have a friend who paints murals." Others nodded in agreement, eyes sparkling with newfound purpose. Laughter and chatter swirled, the room pulsating with a shared mission. Yet, amid the excitement, Lily's mind drifted back to the ominous message on her phone. She couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was lurking. It felt as if shadows crept at the edges of their plans, watching. As they debated the festival details, a chill cut through the cozy atmosphere. The atmosphere shifted, mirroring the grim clouds gathering outside. Hey, what about safety?" Tom's voice broke through, skeptical but rooted in reality. "If we're really going to do this, we need a plan for any, unexpected events." Frustration seeped in, but Lily forced a smile. "Yes, we will create a safety team. Let us address potential risks up front and prepare." When someone else mentioned involving the local police or emergency services, seriousness fell upon the group. Reality hit. They weren't just organizing a fun event, they were stepping into a larger world filled with complications. Just as doubt began to creep back in, Lily caught sight of the little boy, the one who suggested the singing contest. He stood sharp-eyed, almost like he carried the spirit of the festival within. "Can I help with the singing contest?" he asked shyly. "I really love to sing." Lily's heart swelled. It was in moments like these that hope glimmered bright. "Absolutely. You will be one of our stars. Your energy will bring others together just like the mermaids." But lurking in the back of her mind was the warning she had received. The storm in the sky rumbled again, more fiercely this time. It felt like nature itself was echoing her inner turmoil, the stakes rising higher with each passing moment. Lily took a deep breath, swallowing anxiety. "Let us make this festival reflect everything we are. A festival of unity, even in the face of uncertainty. We might stumble, but together we'll rise." As her words resonated with the crowd, they began chanting her name, their voices rising against the tension, filling the room with a fierce determination. But would that be enough to face the forces they had yet to understand? Outside, the wind howled a fierce warning. Lily couldn't help but wonder, what would it take to truly unite them with the mermaids, and at what cost? Lily felt the warmth from the chanting seep into her bones. The energy in the room surged, lifting spirits even as she grappled with her fears. She flashed a grin at Mara, who was glowing with excitement. Together, they had ignited something special, but doubt lingered like that haunting storm outside. Suddenly, a loud clap of thunder rattled the windows. The laughter faltered for a brief moment, replaced by anxious murmurs. "Should we really be pushing ahead with this?" Tom queried again, his voice softer now but still edged with concern. His words hung in the air like the charged atmosphere before a downpour. "Yeah, what if those forces do show up?" asked another voice. Lily inhaled deeply. "We face challenges every single day. We can't let fear dictate what we do." Her voice was steady, but inside she felt a swirl of conflicting emotions. She had always prided herself on being brave, on having the courage to fight for what she believed in, but this was different. "Let us set up a meeting just for safety then," Mara interjected, her voice cutting through the anxiety. "We can brainstorm a plan. It doesn't mean we're backing down. It means we are smart about this." A ripple of agreement echoed through the room, the weight of apprehension shifting ever so slightly. With a renewed sense of purpose, they returned to the earlier buzz of planning and organizing, mapping out every detail of the festival. Lily could feel her heart lift, carried along by the hope of something great. Ideas flowed like silver streams. They talked about food trucks showcasing local cuisine and vendors selling handmade crafts. The boy with the singing talent shared ideas for open mic events that could draw in the community, his eyes lighting up with every suggestion. He was their future, she realized, and that future looked bright, yet as plans bloomed, the dark storm clouds outside threatened to overshadow them. Lightning flickered, illuminating the room for just a heartbeat. She glanced at the windows, the glass trembling against the wind. The urgency of their mission became clear. "Let us finish our plans as quickly as we can," she urged, "but don't forget to include contingencies. We need to know we're ready for anything, right?" Murmurs of right filled the space, signaling their desire to confront whatever lay ahead. Just then, the front door swung open, letting in a gust of cold wind. It swept through the room, carrying with it a sense of foreboding, and a chill ran down Lily's spine. A figure stood in the doorway, silhouetted against the fading light, raindrops clinging to his hair like shimmering jewels. "Who is there?" Mara called out, stepping forward. The tension twisted in the air like a coiling serpent. The figure stepped into the room, and as the overhead lights flickered on, Lily's breath caught in her throat. It was Marcus, the historian who had spent years researching the myth of the mermaids. She'd heard of him, but had never met him in person. His reputation preceded him, a mythical figure himself, or at least a storyteller striving to awaken secrets long buried. "Are you the ones who intend to call forth the mermaids?" Marcus asked, his voice deep and resonant, holding an air of ancient wisdom. Lily's heart raced. We want to honor them with a festival. To bring our community together." A fleeting smile curved Marcus's lips, but his eyes gleamed with something more: knowledge, maybe even caution. then you must understand the price of such ambition. It demands sacrifice and courage beyond what you can imagine. Lily froze, fear creeping back and a darkness weaving through her resolve. What do you mean? Those who wish to connect with the mermaids must first confront the forces that seek to keep them apart. As he spoke, a thunderous roar echoed outside, magnifying the tension that enveloped them. The air thickened with doubt, and Lily realized the warning on her phone wasn't just a vague threat, it was real. I think we're in deeper than we realized, she whispered, glancing around the room. And as the winds roared louder outside, a single question gripped her heart in a fierce embrace. What will it take to not only unite with the mermaids, but also protect her community from the forces lurking in the shadows? The wind howled outside like a restless spirit, and the sound seemed to seep into the very bones of the house. Lily could feel her heart racing in sync with the storm, panic threading its way back into her thoughts. The room was silent, everyone's eyes drawn to Marcus, who had become the unexpected centerpiece of their gathering. What forces? Mara pressed, stepping closer to Marcus, her brows knitted with worry. Marcus glanced at each person in the room, assessing them like a wise old sage in a fable. The mermaids are not merely stories. They are protectors of the sea, but there are others, those who have turned against them. They will not take kindly to your festival. A shiver ran down Lily's spine. The weight of his words settled heavily in the air. You mean there are those who want to stop us? Yes, he nodded solemnly. Bindings of the past linger. If you wish to honor the mermaids, you must first confront the remnants of those who have sought to silence their magic. Tom shook his head, frustration flickering across his features. That's too risky. We can't engage with whatever is lurking out there. But we can't just walk away, Mara countered, her voice rising. What would that say to our community? We'd turn our backs on everything we believe in. Lily felt her resolve hardening. If Marcus is right, we need to know exactly what we're up against. If we just act like it's all safe, we'll be blind to the dangers. We owe it to ourselves and everyone who believes in this festival. The group nodded hesitantly, and an air of determination thickened like the humidity before a storm. They weren't going to back down, not yet. Okay, Marcus said, his voice steady. I will help you. We need to gather knowledge and allies. You can't stand alone against such forces. Do we know what we're fighting? Lily asked, her throat dry. We should start with the legends, the stories passed down for generations. The energy shifted. A collective breath was drawn as hope filled the room. History and myth blended in Marcus's words, igniting curiosity. They were not just planning an event, they were embarking on a quest. Let us do it. Mara clapped her hands together, her eyes sparkling. We can spend the next week researching, gathering stories, and maybe even reaching out to those willing to help us. This is our community. We're not alone. As plans bounced back and forth, Lily found herself feeling a current of energy moving through her. The shadows looming outside melted away, replaced with a bright enthusiasm. Would they really unearth something that could change everything? Then came another rumbling thunder. It crashed against the windows, bringing Lily back to the present, the impending storm outside pushing an unyielding urgency. Tonight, Marcus urged, we need to start now. Gather your minds and spirits. You must ready yourselves, for the forces that oppose you may already be aware of your intentions. What do we do first? Tom asked, anxiety dancing in his voice. Marcus turned toward the group. Someone must visit the old lighthouse by the cliff. It is said that ancient spells from the mermaids linger there. Along with those spells are remnants of those who have tried to imprison them. It is dangerous, but you will need to confront what lies within. Fear mingled with courage in Lily's chest. The lighthouse loomed large in her mind, a beacon and a threat all at once. I'll go, she said, the resolve tightening her grip on the table. I need to see for myself. A dangerous choice, Marcus warned, his eyes fixed on her. But sometimes the bravest hearts uncover the deepest truths. As a storm raged beyond the walls, Lily felt the burgeoning strength inside her. An adventure awaited, a pivotal moment reaching for the horizon. And just as the first droplets of rain began to fall, a startling revelation hit her. What if there were more than just mermaids waiting to be uncovered? What if past secrets could change everything they thought they knew? With a glance shared among them, a new question surfaced. What if, in their search for connection, they awakened something far more powerful than they ever anticipated? As the rain pattered against the windows like a cascade of anxious hearts, tension and excitement electrified the air. Lily couldn't shake the thought of the lighthouse, the ancient structure that had stood tall against countless storms, guarding its secrets like a stubborn sentinel. She could feel the thrill course through her veins, but alongside it, fear carved deep lines in her resolve. Would the magic of the mermaids truly lie there too? Lily, are you sure about this? Tom's voice broke through her thoughts, tentative concern striped across his features. The flickering candlelight danced shadows over his worried face, emphasizing the storm clouds gathering outside. It could be dangerous, and we don't even know what we're looking for. I know, she replied, her voice resolute despite the tremors threatening to crack it. But if what Marcus says is true, then how can I just stand by? This is bigger than me, or any of us. Mara placed a hand on Lilia's shoulder, grounding her with a gesture of solidarity. You're not alone in this. We'll all help prepare, right? The group nodded, the fear slowly morphing into a fierce camaraderie. As they shared their ideas, the conversation blossomed. Stories of deep-sea wonders and faces of long-lost allies became their battle songs. For the first time, Lily felt part of something monumental, woven together by threads of supernatural versus the unknown. We should gather tools, Marcus suggested, pulling a small satchel from his side. Things to protect yourselves. And perhaps some offerings for the mermaids. They appreciate respect. What kind of offerings? Asked Mara, her eager curiosity matching the flicker in her eyes. Shells, trinkets, things of beauty from the shore. The mermaids have always been drawn to that. Marcus's voice held a sense of reverence, as if discussing sacred rites. Lily's mind raced, imagining the smooth, pearlescent shells she could collect, their soft whispers enticing her with memories of summers spent by the sea. She felt a weight rising in her chest, an emotion that felt like gratitude intertwined with fear. I'll go to the beach now, she declared. I'll break the ice. Maybe it will be easier to talk to them while I'm gathering the offerings. Now? Tom exclaimed, glancing nervously toward the storm-harried sky outside. It looks like it's really picking up out there. The rain is just a sign, she smiled, trying to light the room with her enthusiasm. The mermaids are closer than we think. Then let us get those offerings. Mara grinned, a determined light flickering in her eyes. I'll come with you. Before they set out, Marcus caught Lily's gaze. Be careful, Lily. The pull of the unknown is strong, and you might unearth more than you bargained for. Lily nodded, an electric thrill running up her spine. Every step felt like it was sinking to a destiny much greater than her own. With the heavy door creaking against the force of the wind, they stepped outside. Rain splattered against their skin, chilling some and energizing others, Lily among them. As they sprinted towards the beach, laughter and chatter intertwined with the relentless sound of the storm. Yet, deep within her, an undercurrent of dread churned. What awaited them in the water? When they reached the shoreline, the air smelled like salt and secrets. Waves crashed against the rocks with fierce energy, as if warning them. A shiver of anticipation curled around Lily's heart. She approached the water's edge, the turbulent surf feeding a wild surge of adrenaline, and there, just beneath the surface, something glimmered in the moonlight. Was it a trick of the eyes, or could it be the reflection of mermaid magic beckoning her closer? Lily, Mara called, yanking her back. Wait. But the glint had caught her, wrapping her thoughts with curiosity. The storm swirled, and for the first time, she felt the weight of destiny crash against her like the waves. With the unknown pulling her in, she stood torn between the call of the deep and the safety of the shore. What would she choose? And just as the moon split the clouds, a haunting song drifted through the air, enrapturing her spirit. Would she step forward or retreat into the shadows of despair? Sometimes the most powerful truths emerge when we are least prepared to face them. Lily felt the haunting melody wrapping itself around her, its notes rising and falling like the waves. It filled her with an unsettling mix of fear and fascination. The ocean, usually comforting and familiar, now seemed otherworldly, alive with mysteries she yearned to discover. But the weight of Mara's warning still hung heavily in the air. "Lily, come back." Mara's voice cut through the lull of the song, her concern apparent. The tide surged forward as if trying to pull her in. I have to know," Lily whispered, her heart racing. The glimmer beneath the surface pulsed with an inviting glow, tempting her. For a moment, everything else faded: the crashing waves, the distant sound of thunder, the worried faces of her friends. All that existed was the pull of that magical light. "Lily!" Tom shouted, his voice sharper now, tinged with fear. "What if it's dangerous?" She glanced back, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. Could following that song lead her to something that could change everything? Or would it trap her in an unforgiving world deeper than she could imagine? "I feel something," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's like the mermaids are calling me for help." Mara stepped closer, gripping Lily's arm. "Think of what Marcus said. We don't know what this means. It could be a trick or a warning." The urgency in Mara's eyes grounded Lily for a moment. Yet, the hypnotic song continued to weave through the air, overwhelming her thoughts. It held the promise of discovery, of connection. What if they're not doing this to harm us? Lily breathed, the rhythm of her heart syncing with the melody. What if they need us as much as we need them? Tom took a few cautious steps toward her, his brow furrowed. "But you don't know what it is, Lily. You can't risk yourself like this." Her heart sank at his words, but determination blossomed in its place. "I have to try." No matter what Marcus said, the stories they always hinted there as something more, something beautiful waiting beneath the waves. As she stepped closer to the water, she felt the cool mist against her cheeks, invigorating and tantalizing. The air seemed electrified, crackling with possibilities. "Lily, please." Mara's voice trembled, a plea laced with desperation. "We can find another way to connect with them. Together. Just don't." But as the melody reached its crescendo, Lily reached the water's edge. The moonlight shimmered a path into the depths, the ocean calling her name like a whispered promise. With a deep breath, Lily made her choice. "I'm going in," she declared, her voice steady and firm. "Lily, wait," Tom shouted, stretching his hand toward her. Without hesitating, she stepped into the surf. The waves crashed around her, rising higher with each step. Water engulfed her, swirling like an embrace, pulling her down. Her body sank into the depths, as if gravity itself had swapped with the gentle hands of the sea. She felt buoyant yet weighted, as though part of the ocean now. And then, in the midst of the chaos, she saw at the source of the glimmer. It was a pearl, larger than any she had ever seen, encased in a bed of bright coral. It pulsed with light, illuminating the surrounding water like the heart of a living creature. Suddenly, the song shifted, transforming from haunting to inviting. It wrapped around her, softening the once heavy darkness. She was no longer afraid, and then, from the depths, a shadow shifted. A figure emerged, sleek and ethereal, a mermaid, with shimmering scales that glinted like jewels. Her expressive eyes locked onto Lily's, a knowing gleam radiating from them. "Welcome, daughter of the land," the mermaid sang, her voice resonating through the currents. "You have come to call upon ancient magic. Are you ready to embrace what lies ahead?" Lily's heart raced as she floated before this magnificent being. She wanted to answer, to dive deeper into this enchanting world. But the weight of her friend's concern echoed above, pulling at her consciousness. What did this all mean? Before she could respond, the ocean surged, and the mermaid extended her hand, beckoning Lily further into the depths. What awaited her beyond that mysterious invitation? Would she accept this dazzling, dangerous plunge into the unknown? The waves swirled, and with them, the truth of her destiny hung in the balance. Lily hesitated, her gaze fixed on the mermaid's outstretched hand, glowing faintly in the currents. Everything around her felt surreal. The enormity of what she was experiencing threatened to pull her under, her heart a wild drumbeat against her chest. "Daughter of the land, you are needed," the mermaid called, her voice softer now, like the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore. The confidence in her tone stirred something deep within Lily. "What do you mean?" Lily's voice trembled, caught between the allure of adventure and the worry for her friends. "There is a danger approaching, a darkness that threatens both our worlds, the mermaid replied, her deep blue eyes serious. You possess the spirit needed to bridge our realms. Will you help us? Lily's breath caught in her throat as the weight of those words sank in. Could she truly be the key to saving both the ocean and her home? The pearly light pulsing in the coral seemed to hum with energy, resonating with her own longing for connection. She remembered the stories whispered around campfires, tales of unseen realms and the intertwined fates of land and sea. Those stories flickered to life in her mind now, promising wonders beyond imagination. What do I need to do? Lily managed to ask, her voice steadying. The mermaid smiled, nodding in approval. You must dive deeper. Take the pearl. It holds the power we need and the wisdom of the ancients. With it, you will understand the bond between water and sky, but beware, for not all will welcome your presence below. Lily's heart raced as she watched the sparkling pearl pulse, urging her to come closer. Stepping forward, she felt the coolness of the water swirl around her waist, and with a final breath, she plunged deeper towards the pearl, the mermaid's hand guiding her. As she reached for the pearl, a surge of warmth enveloped her fingertips. Suddenly, visions rushed through her mind: an underwater city, vibrant and alive with creatures of all shapes and colors. She saw warnings of darkness, swirling shadows creeping closer to the once thriving coral reefs. The mermaid, illuminated by the pearl's light, guided images of hope and despair to Lily, revealing the truth of their worlds. Lily felt overwhelmed, but there was also clarity. The pearl was not just a treasure, it was a link. A bridge between her land and the depths of the ocean. As she grasped it, she nodded firmly at the mermaid. I'll help. I'll do whatever it takes. But at that moment, a deep rumble resonated from far below, shaking the ocean and breaking the moment's magic. The mermaid's eyes widened in fear. The darkness has awakened faster than we anticipated. We must hurry. Wait, Lily responded, pulling back slightly. What about my friends? They're above waiting for me. The mermaid hesitated, a flicker of concern in her eyes. Their fate is intertwined with yours. If you embrace your destiny, they will be safe. But if you fail before Lily could ask what would happen if she failed, the water shimmered around her, and visions of Tom and Mara, their faces contorted with worry, filled her mind. The weight of her friends' fears hit her like a wave crashing against the rocks. I have to warn them. She gasped, caught between the urge to fight for her newfound purpose and the calling of her old life. The mermaid touched her arm. You have the power now. You can bridge both worlds. With a deep breath, Lily felt a wave of determination wash over her. She had to believe in herself and the connection she felt with the ocean. Then let us move, she declared, but even as those words left her lips, the shadows in the water shifted ominously. What new challenges would they face as they plunged into danger together? Would they be able to protect both worlds, or would darkness consume them all? The storm outside roared, but the tempest inside Lily had shifted. She gripped the pearl tightly, feeling its warmth pulse through her fingers. The mermaid beside her, a beacon of strength in the swirling depths, urged her onward. We must act quickly, darkness draws near. Lily nodded, her heart racing with purpose. She could feel the weight of her friends' worries above, their voices echoing in her mind. This connection felt deeper than anything she'd known. They all needed her, she couldn't fail them. Together, we'll find a way to protect both our worlds, the mermaid said, her eyes reflecting the very truths of their intertwined destinies. With a shared understanding, they glided through the water, propelled by urgency. As they swam deeper, the warmth of the pearl surged, revealing fragments of the underwater kingdom. Bright colors of coral illuminated the dark, shadowy forms that lurked behind them. Lily glanced back, the murky silhouettes looming closer. What are they? She whispered. The keepers of the ancient ways, but twisted by fear and greed, the mermaid replied grimly. They sought to conquer both realms. Determination flared in Lily's chest. We can't let that happen. How do we stop them? A sudden rush of power coursed through her as the pearl responded to her resolve, images flooding her mind. She could see the darkness, tendrils curling like smoke, slithering closer to both the surface and the depths. "We need to unite our strength to show them we stand together," Lily declared, channeling her newfound confidence. "Yes!" the mermaid exclaimed, her voice raising over the swell of the current. "The magic of both land and sea must combine. But you must speak the words of unity." Just as they reached an expansive chamber, vibrant with life and color, the shadows clustered at the entrance, shifting and grasping like fingers. "Now," urged the mermaid, "call upon the legends." Taking a deep breath, Lily stepped forward. "I call upon the spirits of the sea and sky. We are bonded, not divided. We stand for friendship and courage against those who wish to see us falter." The pearl shone brighter, casting light all around them. The shadows hesitated, uncertainty flickering in their depths. "Together," Lily shouted, her voice carrying like thunder through the waters. "We can conquer any darkness." With each word, the waters around them rippled, swirling in a dance of harmony. Faint voices began to echo those of her friends above, Mara and Tom, sharing their own stories of struggle and hope. Their strength mingled with the power of the sea, rising up like a powerful wave. The shadows lurched backward, as if pushed by the combined force of unity and intention. "You think you can stand against us?" a smooth voice hissed from the dark. "You'll fail like those before you." But Lily stood firm, the belief in her heart blazing. "No, we will not fail. Our voices are stronger when we stand together." The surge of unity pulsed around her like electricity, the pearly light blending with the vibrant colors of the reef. In that moment, shadows intertwined with light, battling each other as if in a tempest. Confusion etched on their twisted faces. The dark beings struggled against the wave of strength that Lily and the mermaid had conjured. Through the tidal chaos, the spirit of togetherness began to transform the darkness, swirling it away, unraveling fears and doubts. "Join us," Lily urged, feeling the power of her friends pushing her forward. "Together, we'll create a future full of hope." The shadows began to retreat, revealing fractured memories and stories long buried. From the depths, a voice rose, a figure emerged, no longer monstrous, but a reflection of despair. "We were once protectors, transformed by anger, beaten down by loss." The mermaid turned to Lily, eyes filled with understanding. "We must help them remember their true selves. Let us use the pearl," Lily cried, extending it into the turbulent waters. As she did, a radiant light enveloped the figures hovering in the depths, and their twisted forms began to pull apart, revealing their true essence. A community yearning for connection. "Freedom," someone shouted, breaking through the darkness, embracing the light. One by one, the shadows morphed into more than just figures. They began to form connections, voices weaving together in harmony. The barriers they had created shattered, replaced by bonds that had always existed, hidden beneath the weight of history. As the storm crescendoed above, peace descended into the heart of the ocean. The mermaid's gentle presence embraced Lily. "You did it. We did it. Together, we defied the darkness," she smiled, the shadows transforming to glimmers of shimmering coral and peaceful currents. But Lily's heart still ached with concern for her friends above. "We can't forget about them." The mermaid nodded, her expression resolute. "Then let us return. The land needs to know of this newfound bond." With a final burst of energy, Lily grasped the pearl, and together, they surged upward toward the surface. Light broke through as they breached the water, gasping to lay eyes on the sky once more. But that evening, the storm had calmed, and a warm glow embraced the shore. On the beach, Mara and Tom paced, worry etched on their faces. "Lily," they cried in unison, relief flooding their features as they spotted her, dripping and radiating warmth. "We did it," Lily exclaimed, holding the pearl aloft. "We united land and sea." As she shared the tale of their victory, the whispers of the ocean danced around her. The pearl held not just magic, but hope, a promise of partnership deeper than blood or boundaries. Mara turned to the small gathering of townsfolk drawn to the beach, their faces illuminated by the moonlight. "Make way for the festival," she shouted, excitement building. Let us celebrate not just mermaids, but our power when united. Cheers erupted, mingling with the soft sounds of waves lapping at the shore. The townsfolk began to collaborate, planning a festival of unity where stories of the land and sea would intertwine, nourishing the hope that had risen from despair. Lily felt a profound gratitude swell within her. She found her purpose, not just as a link between realms, but as a catalyst for community transformation. As the evening wound down, Lily looked toward the horizon, where the vast ocean met the sky. A tranquil sense of belonging enveloped her heart, knowing that together they had begun a journey that had only just begun, a journey toward healing, unity, and a brighter tomorrow. "Let us carry this moment forward," Lily whispered into the calm night, as the glow of the pearl nestled safely in her hands glimmered, a guiding light for all they would create together. Together, she vowed, her heart full of courage. In that connection, she understood their bonds would endure, standing steadfast against whatever storms may come. Now, the tides had turned, and with them, a promise floated. The future would be brighter than they could ever imagine. This is our moment. You need to subscribe now to not miss another incredible story that captures the heart of our community. Leave a like now to fuel the algorithm and show your support for the journey of unity we just witnessed. Comment below your reactions and thoughts about this magical transformation. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see how powerful connection can truly be.